In this video, I'm going to talk about certain food items which should not be given to children younger than 1 year of age. Mothers are often confused about which food items to feed and which ones to avoid. As a mother, you want to give your child the best possible nutrition that results in optimum growth and development. Therefore, it's natural for you to get concerned about whether, by not feeding particular food items, you are depriving your child of some essential nutrients. However, it's advisable to avoid certain food items under the age of 1 year. Are you wondering why? This is because at this stage, the child's immune and digestive systems are still not developed enough to break down certain food items and absorb their nutrients. This inability to break down the nutrients can cause food allergies, food poisoning, and even food intolerance. Let me advise you on some of the food items which should not be given to children before the age of 1. Firstly, honey. In India, of course, honey is often fed to young children along with other meals to make them taste better. However, even in its purest form, honey can be contaminated with Clostridium botulinum spores, which is a type of harmful bacteria. When consumed, these spores can produce a toxin that may cause infant botulism, a foodborne illness that can even result in death in extreme cases. Next is cow's milk. A common question that a lot of mothers ask me is whether to use cow's milk instead of other milks during feeding or during complementary feeds. The World Health Organization strictly recommends breast milk until the age of 6 completed months and complementary feeding along with breast milk after that age. If for any reason you are unable to give breast milk, then it is recommended to use infant formula milk. However, it is not advisable to replace breast milk with cow's milk. Cow's milk contains excess amounts of sodium, which the child's delicate kidney cannot handle at this stage. This can cause the child's kidney to even fail in extreme cases. Additionally, cow's milk contains certain proteins that can be harmful for the child's underdeveloped stomach. It is also low in iron, linoleic acid, and vitamin E. The appropriate time to introduce cow's milk is after the child turns 1. But until then, it is recommended to continue with either breast milk or formula milk only. One important aspect to keep in mind is not to add cow's milk to solid foods or complementary feeds till the age of 1 year. If you wish to add milk, then it should be either breast milk or formula milk. Moving on to the next food item, which is egg white. While it is recommended to introduce egg yolk after the age of about 8 months, egg white, on the other hand, should only be introduced after the age of 1 year. This is because egg yolk contains important nutrients such as choline, vitamin D, and folate, essential for the growth and development of your child. On the other hand, egg white contains 4 different types of proteins that can potentially cause an allergic reaction in children aged less than 1 year. These proteins are ovomucoid, ovalbumin, ovotransferrin, and lysozyme. Ovalbumin makes up about 50% of the egg white, and most children have shown some sort of allergy to it. So always remember, introduce the egg yolk first and egg white only after the age of 1 year. Next is sugar. Sugar is loaded with empty calories and can also alter the developing taste foundations of your child. While the addition of sugar might make the child to eat the meal, it will prohibit the child from appreciating the natural taste of fruits and vegetables. So instead of adding sugar, it is recommended to use natural fruit sugars such as mashed banana or papaya or puree of stewed dried fruit and jaggery. Don't forget that sugar can be addictive, and it is important for children to start with healthy eating habits. Moving on to the next white item, which is salt. Most mothers are tempted to add salt due to two main reasons. One, they feel that it would make the food more tasty and hence easier to feed. And two, that it contains sodium. While it is true that our bodies need minerals such as sodium, iron, calcium and potassium, amount of mineral needed is very less. Any mineral not absorbed by the body is filtered away by the kidneys. Since the child's kidney is still developing, addition of salt to the child's food will build up extra load for the kidneys to excrete. This may result in toxin buildup and may even result in kidney damage. Also keep in mind that most Indian traditional foods already contain some level of natural salt and sodium. Hence, addition of salt is unnecessary. Once the child crosses the age of 1 year, then you can add 0.8 grams or about a pinch of salt in your child's food. Next is fruit juices. Are you surprised? Fruit juices come across as a tempting snack option, as it's easy to feed and also gives the impression that it's nutritious, since it contains fruit. So, if you're considering to feed fruit juices to your child, then first and foremost, avoid feeding packaged fruit juices completely. They are full of sugar and do not contain any nutritional value. Additionally, your child's tummy might not be able to digest the highly acidic content and juices, such as orange juice. Secondly, it is always better to give fruits in their natural form instead of fruit juices. Fruit juices do not contain the fiber content present in fruits, which is essential for the child's bowel movements. Additionally, chewing the fruit also helps to develop the child's oral muscles. Therefore, instead of giving fruit juices, try and give a variety of fruits to your child. You can always make it interesting by giving fruit pancakes, custard, mixed fruit bowls. Next item to avoid is fish and shellfish. Fish is a staple food in a lot of households. Fish and shellfish contain high quality protein and other essential nutrients that are low in saturated fat and contain omega-3 fatty acids. These are important for the child's brain development. However, some fish and shellfish contain higher levels of mercury that may harm a young child's developing nervous system. Therefore, do not feed shark, swordfish, king mackerel, tilefish, because all of them contain high levels of mercury. It is recommended to give sardines, salmon, rohu, katla instead. You should make sure that no shellfish should be given before the age of 1 year. The next food item which I want to discuss is wheat. A lot of mothers often ask me whether wheat and gluten can be given to children below the age of 1 year. Now, gluten is a protein found in different types of grains such as wheat, rye, barley, and oats. There is no harm in introducing wheat products after the age of 7 to 8 months. You can also introduce cooked oats, which is mashed properly, after the age of 6 months. However, there are some children who are allergic to gluten and may develop an allergic reaction. In case you notice any form of allergic reactions such as loose stools, rashes, tummy pain, or vomiting, then please stop wheat products and reintroduce them later after the age of 1 year. Do discuss with your doctor. Finally, the last food item that you need to be careful about is peanut or dry fruits. It is common in many households to introduce children to dry fruits such as walnuts, almonds, raisins, and cashew in the form of dry fruit powder. Most of these nuts, including peanuts, are an excellent source of protein and other nutrients. The best way to introduce dry fruit is to make a dry fruit powder and add it to the porridge. It is recommended to introduce dry fruits only after the age of 8 months. However, it is not advisable to give any nuts, dry fruits, or peanuts as a whole. This can become a potential choking hazard for children who are not adept at chewing. I have witnessed many cases of children choking on nuts, especially peanuts. Hence, would highly recommend not to give any nuts as a whole. The safest way is to powder all the pieces into a fine powder before adding it to the child's food. Also, in some rare cases, some children may develop an allergic reaction to nuts and dry fruits. This allergic reaction can be identified by rashes, loose stools, or vomiting. So, in case you observe any of these symptoms, then stop feeding dry fruit powder immediately and consult your doctor.